Um, Hi, all together. We will introduce ourselves for a short moment. My name is Andreas, and
I am Heidi.
okay, and some of you already know us. Okay, so I'm going to explain you what we are going to do. Today is our first project of research we're going to go through, and we're going to explain you now a little bit how that is going to work out. Okay. So the subject that we're going to research today is the subject of the new earth. And that's actually all Heidi knows. It's those two words. And she's going to meditate over that subject, and she will have no idea what I actually going to do and what kind of questions I will have. So the reasons for the research we will explain in a short little moment. So Heidi, what do you know about that research project that we're going to do today? What do you know about it?
I know nothing. So all I know is the subject. I've heard of the subject, but I don't do research. With me, what I do is I actually go within myself. And whatever comes through is coming through in a way that needs to be heard. So it's kind of like I'm a channeler, a vessel from wherever the information comes through. So I have heard of the subject, but I do not do research. I don't read books. I just allow all the information to come through me.
Exactly. Okay, that's good to know. Of course, we want to be as unbiased as possible, but I mean, that's usually almost never possible. We always heard something about it or maybe even read about it, so we are aware of that, but still we want to be as unbiased as possible. That means as well that Heidi does not know about my framework, my preparation, my questions, nothing, just the subject. Okay, what's the next point I want to explain? Yeah, you're gonna do in a little moment when you finish that video, we're gonna go and make you comfortable on the seat. You're prepared. We have prepared, and you meditate about that subject. And once you're ready, we're gonna immediately start with the session. Is that okay for you?
Yes, I have to be completely cleared and centered.
Okay.
So,
So you do it the same way as we do it when we have a surrogate session, a surrogate telepathic session when we have a client far away. So that's just for you guys that you know a little bit the work we have. I prepared all the questions as I already said. It's on the paper, and Heidi does not know about anything those questions. We're going to try to keep the video as short as possible so you guys are not bored and think, okay, how long is that video? So we want to be really nicely organized here. And we only provide the necessary content. Next point is just to explain a little bit about the process. Once Heidi has finished meditating, I'm going to put her into trance with an induction. We go through the session, that means the questions I have. Once everything is concluded, I bring Heidi back to the so-called awake state. Of course, she's not sleeping, but we call it the awake state. Okay, so now you may want to know why we want to do that research. And I have a few points, and I have a paper here. I'm going to read them because I don't have them all in my mind. So the points that we are going to go through is like this. First, we want to provide education that goes beyond the regular client session to gain information and knowledge from different sources. The goal of this research is to get a broader idea and deeper knowledge of certain topics that are so important and attractive to many practitioners and clients. We're going to try to eliminate possible misconceptions and false information as provided from sources with intelligent but possible deceiving intent. We are trying to support already given information by clients and practitioners in the past through information gathering without being biased and deceived. Our intent is to seek the truth and only the truth. We will not hold back information that could be confusing or challenges beliefs or are uncomfortable to face. All I want to do is try to get down to the rabbit hole a little deeper, and even if this means to throw wrong conceptions, beliefs, and misinterpretations overboard. We must assume that we as humans think we know or think to know is only a part of the truth, and our duty is to get closer to the truth. Whatever result of our work will be, whatever conclusion we will make, it will be our opinion based on what happens in the session. We will not claim to know the final truth and propose to everybody to take everything we did with a grain of salt and exercise due diligence. We are inviting all of you to participate and are open for suggestions. We respect every opinion as long as the wordings in your post are respectful and constructive. Leave your comments and discussions in the comments section below the video. I hope that makes you clear our intent and how we try to work. So, anything else you want to add here?
Just take everything within your thoughts, and we do our best to do this work, and we're excited about it and what's to come, and the information that is to come through and for you to see.
Cool. So, well then, let's go.
Okay.
There's a lot of, it's overflow right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot of energy right here in the center of me. That's where I feel like that's where the answers are coming from, is creation.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I almost feel like right now I want to explode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna use all of it.
I just see my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, then reach out and connect with your higher self, and you are now allowed to become your higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Connect with your higher self more and let it flow into you fully, as it is already there, but just become aware that you actually are your higher self right now. And I'm going to start communicating with the higher self right now. The higher self of Heidi. Do we have the permission to talk to you right now?
Yes.
Very good. Nice you're here. I would like you to help Heidi to just step aside now as an observer and not to interfere. I want you to help her to just step aside, to become a part along the ride we're going to have together right now. So I would like now to ask for permission to connect with different sources of knowledge about the topic New Earth. Do we have the permission to go and research that subject?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. First question I have for you. Are you able to connect us and provide us with the first source that has knowledge about the subject New Earth? You may answer with yes, or you may answer with no.
Yes.
Okay. So then please call in this source of knowledge.
It's been here already.
Okay. Could you please explain what or who is with you now?
This is another part of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're just connected with us already.
Okay. Could you please elaborate on that part so we would understand a little bit more what you mean by that?
It is basically an energy. If, as a human, if you were to see it, it would look more like invisible, see-through. But it's a part within us from the beginning of time.
A part within us of every single human?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. So what part are we going to connect right now to have our first question answered about that topic?
We all three need to be connected.
Mm-hmm. Well then please go forward and do that.
It is there.
Mm-hmm. Is the connection established?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready, whoever that source and whatever that source is, to let speak that source and let that source talk about the questions that I have? Is that okay now?
Yes, I can talk with it.
Very good. First question is there such a thing or a concept as described as the New Earth?
It is, but it wouldn't be called that New Earth. It is happening now, but it has always been. As we think here on Earth, it's developing now. But it has been through the past, and now is becoming more, as humans we're more aware of that development, and we get in between both of them. And in this process, we get confused.
Thank you. Can you explain in human terms what the New Earth is about? What is it about, the New Earth?
It's, in human terms, it's, humans think of it as becoming something totally different. Yet humans are starting to expand more and realizing and unknowing within them of a change. And when they feel this, they become in between two earths. And this is a concept that they have, yet it always has been through past and future as they start to become to know who they are. And then they get confused because they're in between and they might feel lost or feel as if they want to go home. And creation, as being created in this process, is so important, especially within women as they're creating children through this process. These children are feeling the in-between states. The women have to be centered completely. As these children are born, they are very in tune with what's going on. And the mind has a hard time distinguishing between reality. It's almost like certain children are lost in between, so their way of thinking is distracted. And more people are ascending in some way. And as you raise that within yourself, and you feel that within yourself as the knowledge you see and feel, you start to become into a new development, yet you're still here. So the body and the mind become disconnected. And the body is experiencing different aspects of health-wise as well. So if you become in between these two worlds, as you would call a new earth, you start to feel what that is like. But yet when you go back to being what that feeling was from what you were before, it's the body becomes, if it is not centered and grounded, the energy or frequency of the vibration can affect the body, and the influence can take over.
Mm-hmm.
So we are feeling that as we ascend. And it's not about ascending, it's about knowing already who we are. But yet we feel like it's a new earth, when it always has been. And it's extremely important to be centered as we keep on going back and forth. And the time is coming now where us humans feel that within ourselves. And we feel like we want to go back home. But sometimes it's our body feeling that. It can't distinguish where it belongs.
Thank you very much. What can you tell us about what happens with the old earth?
The old earth is extremely contaminated through our thoughts. And through our thoughts as energy, through everything that goes on, it contaminates. And all the chaos and negativity develops even more. And it's similar to what they say as a long time ago, it was said that, and the angels will be released onto the earth that no longer belong to where they need to be in a higher realm. And it will infect the earth, contaminate as well. So when humans are experiencing confusion, the contamination can also influence their body. the old earth is explained here in that way.
Okay, very good, thank you. Next question would be, is there a timeline that leads to the shift to the new earth?
There is no timeline. Everything is within ourselves. It is not time. It is each individual process. So some are on the same level as others, and that would be a level within them. So I wouldn't say time, I would say more levels versus time.
Okay. Next question would be, many clients in the past channeled information about New Earth. Is there any misconception about it?
Everyone has their own meaning of what it is, and we're all trying to find that answer. And the more we try to find that, the more it becomes distance from within ourselves. So it is not misconcepted, it is more of a way of how we think as human beings. And there will always be shifts and changes and influence, as it is all about change. And there will not be a time when this is happening. It is a process that takes through as a butterfly would develop from a cocoon. And when that butterfly comes out, it's not always identical to the other one. So, but very similar in many ways. As the butterfly flies like the other one, it eats like the other one, it grows, and then it dies. So there is always change, but we can't see it sometimes as we are in our cocoon. It's just development.
Okay, thank you. Are humans misled, and if yes, by whom? Regarding that information that has been channeled already.
When we hear information, it can change our thinking. So we also have influence from other areas, and that influences what is being spoken through words and our voice. And it is like a chain of reaction. So it is very important to be cautious of where the information comes through, as if it is through a person or whatever, through the community, look at that as well, and what that person is and how they are. If they are not within themselves and centered, that information can't come through to what it needs to truly be. It's as if a teacher is teaching something to a student, yet they're not working within themselves. So how can they teach someone else?
So are there forces that try to prevent that from happening?
Absolutely.
Could you elaborate on what kind of forces that we might not understand on a regular basis, what that could be?
Everyone has their own meaning of what that would be. It is an internal battle within each individual self. And it is distinguishing the difference between the right and the wrong. And sometimes we don't understand that, and what is being told to us can be influenced by other forces within the universe, as whatever you would like to call that, in parts within ourselves that we might not even know because we're so distant from who we are. And if we are not centered within us, it is like cracks within us. And this influence is so strong that it overpowers everything within us and don't even realize the whole process of what's going on. We believe in what the truth is from that influence, and we get more distance within ourselves.
Okay, now another question is, are there sources of information that disguise themselves as being the higher self? Sometimes when people have sessions and the so-called higher self comes through. I repeat my question. Are there sources of information that disguise themselves sometimes as being the higher self?
There can be, as this is when we feel like in the information that comes through, we are being influenced to doubting exactly what this is. And sometimes that doubt is being influenced with us because it does not want us to know exactly who we are. So it makes us believe that that is not even a connection. Because once we have that within ourselves and feel and believe in the process, all the information comes through, and our energy fields become more of who we are, and other forces out there that we can't see in the human eye will try to prevent them from happening. Because the more we become who we are, we start to see the reality of everything, not what it was and what it's going to be like. It is what it is and always has been.
Are there any suggestions for practitioners and clients that want to explore that subject?
Repeat the question.
Are there any suggestions for practitioners and clients that want to explore that subject, New Earth?
Before getting into any of that information, it is important that they go within themselves first, and what I mean by that is really believe in who they are and not on the outside of everything else that they hear. So when practitioners are going through this and they hear their clients talk about the new earth. These are words. Think about the words. It is not about a new earth as it always has been. It's about ascending to who we are. And once we start to feel that in the human body and through our thoughts, we feel different. And the only way we can think of it as saying in words the new earth.
Excuse me.
So, remember that we're all changing. The earth is changing. It always has been. And the human eye can't see. We can visualize. If you were to put it on paper or screen, 2 earths. If you were to draw it, one disconnecting from the other. And one might be invisible because we can't see it with the human eye.
Okay, thank you very much. Is it okay to come back in a later moment in time to connect with you to explore more about the new earth?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I want to go back to the higher self of Heidi, please. Come back. Higher self of Heidi, please come back. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I would like you now to reach out for another source, and I have suggestions, and you could just tell me if that is okay and permitted or not. Could you please reach out to the Council of Watchers? There's a Council of Watchers.
Yes.
Is it permitted to connect with them?
A few.
Okay. Could you please ask for us who would come forward to talk about that subject with us?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please ask this individual if he comes from the light and love?
Yes.
Okay. Could I please talk directly to the source of information, please?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm asking now to come forward to talk with me. Tell me when you're ready to talk with me, source of knowledge from the Council of Watchers.
Yes.
I welcome you. Thank you for being here. Is it important to know if you have a name so we know whom you're talking to?
Names are not a part of who we are.
Okay, I accept that. Do I have the permission to ask you a few questions about the subject, New Earth, that is currently so important for many people on Earth?
Yes.
Thank you very much. What do you know about that topic or the subject, New Earth? Is there any particular thing that you would like to share so we can understand more about it?
The new earth is already in process as we are here to observe in certain ways. An intervention can happen in certain circumstances, as it already has been going on. So we work with certain human beings to connect to what is the most important. And what happens in this process is that they are viewed as not going in the direction they should be. So the influence on the outside world will make them seem as they are not doing anything.
Okay. What is your job or mission in regard to the new earth? Your own job or mission?
To be in a state of watch for destruction. And we maneuver different parts within the earth in different areas through different people so that it is on the right track of where it needs to be.
I understand. So how much are you allowed to intervene in certain circumstances, as we have the law of free will on earth?
We can only do so much. That's why we pick individuals within the earth who are on high status to help work through what needs to ascend to where it needs to be. And again, these are ones that are on a more higher status and not lower in some way. These are individuals within the earth that were chosen from the beginning.
I understand. Is there a timeline that leads to the shift to the new earth, or could you talk about that question?
There is no timeline. It has always been. It's about becoming and ascending to who we always were. There was a time when complete destruction was in place, and it was a push-pull, negative, positive charge going on. A lot of this had to be intervention where things were somewhat at one time lost. And now it is becoming more, again, of the true reality of what it always has been.
Okay, thank you very much. Now the question is, why didn't it happen by now? What I mean by that is there are many people on earth that are researching that subject that sometimes make prediction of when that shift occurs. Of course, it didn't happen by now. So I go back to the question, why didn't it happen by now?
Prediction is a deception. So it is like playing with fire. There is a reason why that is said, as it is playing against our nature of humans.
So when you say deception, could you please elaborate on that when I go back to the question of that there are clients and people channeling information about so-called predictions, sometimes even timely predictions, and you talk about deception. how or who is deceiving those individuals?
You have to look at the source of the information, of where it's coming from. As we are trying to control our human nature, and it is not of importance, as we want to know, we want answers, yet why? It is always in, as humans, wanting to know more, of feeling safe. And that's when fear comes in. And so we want answers.
Mm-hmm. Could you please explain for our audience a little more about you as being the Council of Watchers? What should we understand about that description?
The councils of watchers, we come in groups, as we're not just one part, as we are part of each other. But our importance is to make sure, not just with the area of where humans come, but other areas throughout the universe. So each group is assigned to different parts. And if you can only imagine how big the universe is, we have different ones assigned to different areas. And we have to be very in a state of energy to be able to do this work we do. So I don't want to say we're above anyone else, but we have a duty within our purpose to be the ones to align the universe together as one.
If humans could see you with their naked eyes, how would you appear to them, if ever?
Some might see us already. It is very hard to distinguish, as we are different in form. And the things that humans perceive us as sometimes is only what they can see. As if we were to appear to them, it would be very difficult for them to understand in the human mind. So we are created in a way for them to see so that they can understand. As if I were to tell you right now, if I were to appear to you, it would be a very hard process, as we are not in a form like you are.
I understand. If you could see you in a true nature of, if you call it form or shape, how would you appear in the true form, if there is any?
If you were to see, it would be more like colors and shapes in the human eye. So even looking at us, a human would not feel that this was someone in higher standards to them. It is like we would be somewhat invisible and just another object.
Okay. You said you come in groups. So is there somebody or something sending you, or is that a decision that is made differently? For example, to come to Earth.
It is always, and it always has been, who we are. So everything is through vibration. And what I mean by that is, if you were to put music into it, there is a synchronicity and a song to that is there. So if we were to explain this, it always has been, it's hard to explain that to a human being.
I can accept that, but thank you anyway for the description. Is there anything you would tell or now tell us as humans, as practitioners, or our clients that want to explore the subject about the new Earth? Is there any advice that you can give?
I would say keep exploring, as we are in human beings very explorational human beings, and we want to evolve. That is the way of evolving as a human being, is to explore. But sometimes through that evolution, it can go a different route in a different direction. And this is also what is free will. So keep on exploring all different aspects of what that might be, as this will also create as well. But when you're creating, you really have to be in a state of, if in human terms would be bliss or happiness or nature and ways of being connected to part of that earth in the energy field of understanding evolution.
Thank you very much. Is it okay to come back in a later moment in time to connect with you to explore more about the new Earth?
As long as she is centered within herself, the information will be there.
Then thank you very much. It was an honor to meet you. And maybe in future, in human terms, we're gonna meet again. I would like now that you retreat and go back to where you belong. And we say goodbye in love and light. Thank you very much. I'm asking the higher self of Heidi to come back, please, and reconnect and talk to me.
Yes.
Hi. Thank you very much. That was a very pleasant talk. I would like you to scan Heidi's body and state. Is she okay to proceed a little bit longer?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Please let me know if you would have to stop the process. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now I'll ask you to try to connect either to any living person of Earth currently incarnated, or any human person currently not incarnated but still in the Earth life system, knowledgeable about the new Earth subject. Can you please scan if there is any human person, incarnated or not incarnated?
There's a few.
Is there any source that it would make sense and we would have permission to connect with?
This would be an importance, however, there will be judgment.
Okay. If we would now say we don't care about judgment and we just want to proceed because we've gone down the rabbit hole and the truth, would that person be willing to talk?
He is always willing to talk.
Is it a he or she?
He.
Okay. We please ask this personality to come forward and ask this personality if this personality is from the love and light.
He is from the love and light, however, he has a strong ego.
Okay.
That is why I hesitate to bring this in, but this is what comes through. And I am bringing that in to a point.
Then asking your higher self to make a decision if that connection would be beneficial or not.
Yes, it will be beneficial, as it will be extremely judged.
Okay. Well, then I'm asking you to have that personality come forward, and as soon the connection has been made, to talk to me, please.
She is being a little resistant of this.
So I'm asking again, is it a she or a he?
She is being resistant of this.
Mm-hmm.
She here.
Okay. Why is she resistant?
Because it's extremely controversial.
Of expectations to be finally back. 10, 10, open your eyes, you're up there, open your eyes right now, just open your eyes right now, very lovely, very good, move your hands, move your legs, move your feet, wonderful, and breathe.
I can't see straight.
Yeah, it comes back. That was intense.
Mm-hmm.
It worked perfectly. It was better than I was anticipating. I'm very happy about it, and I know this is extremely important work, and I really want to continue to do that with other subjects. But now, Heidi, once I brought you out of the trance, took you a while to see straight, and you guys, you will not gonna see that because I'm gonna cut the video as short as possible, but can you please explain our audience a little bit what's going through your mind and how you feel?
Well, as soon as I got out of trance, and even right now, I still kind of feel I feel very light. I feel extremely relaxed, as if I would say maybe I had a glass of wine.
We may need one, huh?
Yeah. I feel very aware, and it's almost like it's hard to explain, but it's just, I'm so in tune with everything right now. And even though I've been disconnected from the hypnosis, I still feel like, I don't want to say high, but it's kind of like that feeling of, whew, like, where am I right now? It feels so good. And I think my thoughts right now are going through me as exactly how did this come up of it's my mind thinking now and starting to analyze things, and I'm trying not to go there. In the beginning of when I was in the garden, I saw all these cocoons, and I couldn't even remember the word. I just was like, there's these, well, it's a butterfly now, but, and so there were thousands of them everywhere in my garden, but there was only a few butterflies that have came out, and it just seemed like, okay, well, whatever, I'm starting to understand a little bit more now as I think through the process of what that means, but I don't want to go there right now. I just want to explain a little bit of what was happening within me. And when you bring forth different parts within me, it is almost like my body starts, because we can feel here as humans a different density. So when I say I feel like I'm, it's here on, and some of you can probably relate to this, of being here on the density of Earth is very heavy. But when you go through this process of connecting, you feel extremely high, and the information just starts flowing through. When you're in the density of the heaviness of being here, it's confusion that takes place, and it's like you can't even think straight in certain parts. But the feeling of some of these beings or whatever, of compassionate, I think it was the one of the highest, so the love that I felt, even hard to explain now what it is, and as you might already know who was coming through, I was resisting.
Yeah, but we may gonna cut that out, so
yeah,
they don't even know maybe what we're talking about. I may have something, you see that now, it's our conclusion, so you saw the video, and we might had cut out a few parts because it looks like the individual Heidi was connecting to, we should not have that online right now. So I don't even know because the video is not done now, just that you know, don't be surprised. And we have to discuss that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else? I mean, I'm very happy about that, and I think that the results of what we got out here is a few people will probably feel and resonate to that, and a few will maybe as well feel, I don't know, different. So whatever information we got out today, it's just what we got. You can do whatever you want with that. Understand that, please. And take whatever resonates with you, and leave out what you don't. But I see it as very pristine, and you have done really a very good job, and you have not known any of my questions. She
These were some really
anything.
Good questions too.
Yeah. So and not even all my questions I picked up. I just had a few, well, maybe 15 different questions.
Yeah.
But depending who I was dealing with, and I was with you, I had to pick certain questions or repeated them.
Well, and you did an excellent job of disconnecting certain parts and leading me into my direction, that because I felt some resistance going on.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make it short now, and you wanna make it short too. It was a pleasure to do it, and I hope whoever is watching that video, and I hope it's gonna be a lot of people, please share it. We will have more videos doing like that. I feel it's our duty to really get down to the rabbit hole with a few subjects here. And please, if you like the video, go down to the comment section to as well talk with us and share your ideas, share your thoughts, even put up some suggestions for things we could do together. And we would love to have interaction with you in any way. Just please be respectful, and yeah, anything else you want to add here?
I just, with the information that comes through and when we're working together, it's just there. And I try not to analyze, and it just flows through. And I know that everybody is going to judge in some way, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay of your thoughts. We all have our free will and our freedom of speech, and this is what happened. So, it is what it is.
Wonderful. Well, then we say goodbye to the next time, and don't forget to like it if you liked it, and to have some comments, because we can all learn from each other. Well, then goodbye, and to the next time. Bye.
Goodbye.